The Codebreaker, Jim Simons and the formula for Wall Street's greatest fortune. It begins not with money, but with math. A quiet boy in Brookline, Massachusetts, scribbling equations in the margins of his notebook. He wasn't dreaming of Wall Street. He was dreaming in patterns, patterns others couldn't see. His name was Jim Simons, and his path would not follow the usual arc of American wealth. He didn't pitch startups, he didn't climb corporate ladders, he cracked codes, and then he cracked the market. This is the story of the most successful investor you've probably never heard speak. A man who built a secretive empire so profitable, it made Warren Buffett look like a coupon clipper. Jim Simons didn't just beat the market, he changed the game entirely. In the early days, Simons wasn't focused on money at all. He was a mathematician, a geometer, a puzzle solver. After earning his PhD at the age of 23, he went to work for the Institute for Defense Analyses, a top-secret government think tank in Princeton. There, he helped break Soviet codes during the Cold War. The work was so classified, he couldn't talk about it for decades. But Simons wasn't a machine. He was a rebel in a suit. After publicly criticizing the Vietnam War, he was forced out of the IDA. It didn't break him. It freed him. He went on to chair the math department at Stony Brook University, attracting some of the world's best minds. But the itch wouldn't go away, the itch to apply math to something bigger. So, in 1978, at age 40, Simons walked away from academia. He wasn't retiring, he was just getting started. He opened a small investment firm in Long Island. At first, it was called Monometrics. Later, it would become Renaissance Technologies, and in time, it would become the most profitable hedge fund in history. The early days were rough. Simons didn't come from finance. He hired a few economists and made trades based on models and intuition. It worked, sometimes, but it wasn't scalable. Then came the breakthrough. What if the markets were just another kind of code? He began hiring scientists. Not bankers, not MBAs, physicists, cryptographers, statisticians, linguists, programmers. He wanted people who could find meaning in chaos, the kind of people who looked at a stock ticker and saw not a gamble but a signal. And slowly they built it. A black box. A model of models. It didn't trade based on headlines, hunches, or CNBC noise. It ran on data, terabytes of it. Decades of historical prices, patterns, anomalies. They fed it into machine learning algorithms before the term was even trendy. They didn't predict the future. They exploited the present, inefficiencies lasting minutes or seconds. The result was the Medallion Fund. The Medallion Fund wasn't open to outsiders. Only Renaissance employees could invest, and it printed money, quietly. For over 2 decades, it returned an average of 66% annually before fees. After fees, still over 39%, every single year. To put it in perspective, $1,000 invested in Medallion in 1988 would have grown to over $20 billion by 2018, if you could have gotten in. But you couldn't. The gates were closed. The strategy was too powerful, too secretive. Outside investors were pushed into Renaissance's other funds, but they never matched Medallion's magic. So how did they do it? That's the billion-dollar question. Renaissance Technologies became a fortress. Employees signed NDAs so strict many never spoke publicly again. The models were segmented. No one person had full access. Even Simons didn't understand every layer of the system. It was like a machine learning cathedral, each brick placed by a different genius. But even the most brilliant minds face chaos. In the late 2000s, while the rest of the market crumbled in the financial crisis, Medallion thrived. In 2008, it reportedly made almost 80%. When other billionaires begged the Fed for bailouts, Jim Simons simply checked the math. It worked. Yet Simons was never consumed by greed. He poured billions into philanthropy, backing autism research, math education, and scientific advancement. The Simons Foundation became one of the largest in the world. He funded space telescopes, quantum research, even pandemic forecasting models. And still, he stayed in the shadows. No Twitter, no interviews, no books, at least not by him. Michael Lewis didn't write about him. CNBC rarely mentioned him, but insiders knew if Buffett was the face of value, Simons was the ghost in the machine. There's an irony in it all. The man who made the most money on Wall Street wasn't from Wall Street. He didn't sell. He solved. His success was not based on gut feelings or gut-wrenching bets. It was based on certainty, backed by math, enforced by code. Simons retired from active management in 2009, but his systems kept humming. His lieutenants, men like Peter Brown and Robert Mercer, carried on the mission. Mercer would later step into political controversy, helping bankroll Cambridge Analytica and the Trump campaign. But Simons stayed clear. He was a liberal, a donor to Democrats, a man who valued reason over rhetoric. And through it all, Medallion kept delivering, year after year. Even during pandemics, even during war, the code still worked. But there's a mystery that lingers. Why has no one copied it? It's not that they haven't tried. Countless quant funds have risen and fallen. Others have had success, Citadel, 2 Sigma, D.E. Shaw, but none have matched Medallion. Not consistently, not privately, not at that scale. Some say it's because Renaissance was first. Others say it's the people, the culture of intellectual brutality, where only the best ideas survive. Others whisper that it's simply luck. But the truth? The truth is that Jim Simons didn't find a shortcut. He found a new way to think. And thinking, clear, rigorous, unrelenting thinking, is the ultimate edge. The Medallion Fund may never open again. The full algorithms may never be known. The secrets may die with the generation that built them. But the legacy is already written. It's not about money. It's about what's possible when you apply science to the chaos of the world. Jim Simons didn't just break the code of Wall Street. He built one. I'm Jim, and this is History Decoded.